I love God. I love family. I love my family. My family has been destroyed by Satan. Period. You know, we want to pinpoint human beings.
They're saying North West's medical records got leaked. And instead of pointing fingers at Kim, the blame is landing straight on Kanye. Wild, right? North is only 12, yet her name stays trending for all the wrong reasons. Not too long ago, the internet was already at war over her look.
Went through this transition where from being a rapper, like looking at all these girls and looking at my wife, like, oh, my girl needs to be just like the other girls, showing her body off, showing this, showing that. And I didn't realize that that was affecting like my soul and my spirit as someone that's married and loved and the father of like now with about to be 4 kids. Of course, it's like a formal underwear. It's hot. It's like, it's hot for who though?
So like the night before the leg, you're gonna come in here and say that you're not into a corset bag. Give me really bad anxiety. What are you talking about?
Why is that giving you anxiety to say that?
Because you knew last night I was having really bad anxiety and I don't need any more negative energy for you to now say that you're not into me wearing a tight dress.
You are my wife and it affects me when pictures are too sexy.
Rocking nose chains, fresh piercings, and fits that screams superstar more than middle schooler. Some people defend it, saying, she's Kanye's daughter, of course she's gonna be bold. While others swear Kim is pushing her too hard, too fast. And now, add messy rumors of leaked medical files into the mix, and you know the internet is gonna lose its mind. But let's set it straight before trolls spin it out of control. There's no proof, no receipts, no real credible outlet confirming this leak even happened. What's out there are blurry screenshots, unverified exclusive claims, and the same fake tea that pops up every time a celebrity kid makes headlines. And leaking a child's medical info ain't just shady, it's flat out illegal. So right off the bat, this whole story screams speculation dressed up as scandal. Still, here's the thing. People are ready to believe it because drama has followed this family non-stop. From Kim letting North show up on TikTok to Ye loudly preaching about wanting to protect his kids from the internet, every move sparks backlash. So when North popped out with those piercings and fans said she looked totally different, the rumor mill revved up like a Ferrari on shade blogs, medical records leaked, Kanye's cult influence showing, all that messy talk. And speaking of cults, the internet hasn't forgotten Kanye's Donda Academy shutting down or his Sunday service days. Even though the school's closed, people are still bringing up that whole cult vibes energy every chance they get. Sunday service got dragged heavy when the IRS came knocking, stripping away that tax-exempt status. And trust, people still pull those dusty receipts every single time his kids hit the headlines. They'll say, see, it's giving cult energy, even when the drama is just over a 12-year-old's outfit. One little piercing turns into pearl clutching. One rumor with 0 receipts turns into whispers of a medical leak. And suddenly, North's whole childhood is being judged in the court of public opinion. But here's the gag. She never asked for any of this. North didn't choose to be a viral headline at 12 years old. Between her parents' messy history, the internet's obsession, and non-stop Kardashian West drama, she's trapped in the middle of a storm she didn't create. Every single rumor, every outfit, every post somehow circles back to the bigger war. Kim Kardashian versus Kanye West, and North's right there in the crossfire. Kim plays her part with that calm, PR perfect tone layered in mom vibes. She's been saying for years she just wants North to feel free, to experiment with style, to express herself. And let's be real, Kim's entire empire is built on image, aesthetics, and always being that girl. So of course she wants North styled up, walking like a star, and low-key looking like she already got a Skims contract in the tuck. For Kim, piercings and TikToks aren't drama. They're just part of raising a Gen Z influencer. But Kanye, he's been fighting that vision from the jump. Y'all remember back in 2020 when he hit that rally stage and dropped the bomb saying, "I almost killed my daughter," referring to Kim allegedly considering ending her pregnancy with North. That line shook the world. But it also stamped Ye's whole outlook. To him, North isn't just his child, she's living proof of his so-called divine mission. Kanye has repeated it over and over. God saved North's life. To him, that makes her destiny way bigger than fashion, TikTok, or even SKIMS. That's the whole reason he's gone to war over custody, school choices, and whether his kids should even touch social media. Two parents, two totally different visions. Kim sees North as a stylish mogul in training, while Kanye paints her as this holy figure, chosen to fulfill God's purpose. And those two worlds just don't mix. When a piercing hits the blogs, Kim shrugs like, "It's just fashion, relax." But Kanye? He's side-eyeing the whole thing, saying the world is turning his daughter into a spectacle instead of honoring the destiny God gave her. Now let's be real. Plenty of people think Kanye has no business being the one shouting God's name, but that's another conversation. What matters here is how the alleged medical leak got folded into these narratives. For Kim's critics, it's proof she's overexposing her daughter, letting private details spill for clout. For Kanye's critics, it's evidence his cult-like antics, Sunday service choirs, Donda Academy uniforms, scripture chanting, and Bianca showing up half-naked left North more vulnerable than safe. Either way, the storyline keeps getting weaponized. And the wildest part? Neither Kim nor Kanye has said a word about these new rumors, not about the supposed leak, not about the piercing backlash. Their silence leaves fans to write the script themselves. Some are calling Kim Kris Jenner 2.0, cashing in on her daughter's image, while others swear Kanye's God talk is nothing but another form of control. And in the middle of all that noise, a 12-year-old who probably just wanted to rock a chain and hit TikTok live without sparking a worldwide debate? Let's be real. This whole spin ain't really about North. It's Kim versus Kanye, freedom versus faith, fashion versus prophecy. And as long as both parents keep treating her like a symbol instead of just a 12-year-old girl, the internet's gonna twist every little move she makes into a viral headline. This scandal doesn't exist in a vacuum either. The reason people even throw around the word cult when Kanye's name comes up? Because the receipts are stacked. The only reason folks even halfway believe this medical records leak story is because it fits too perfectly into Kanye's track record. And trust, his past projects got enough smoke to choke out an arena. Let's start with Sunday service. Back in 2019, Ye flipped church into a Hollywood performance spectacle. Robes on mountaintops, choirs chanting gospel over trap beats, celebrities swaying like it was the hottest ticket in town. To some, it was spiritual genius, but to others, straight-up cult starter kit. No pastor, no structured church leadership, just Kanye preaching his gospel. Reports even claimed attendees had to sign NDAs, and volunteers were either underpaid or left hanging for months. That's not a faith community. That's giving pyramid scheme and choir robes. Then came Donda Academy, opened in 2022, shut down in 2023 after Kanye's public spiral. But while it ran, the secrecy was next level creepy. Parents had to sign non-disclosure agreements just to enroll their kids. Teachers, allegedly unqualified, some straight up hired from Craigslist. Students were said to be forced into all-black Balenciaga uniforms, fed nothing but sushi for lunch, and made to recite Ye's personal mantras like scripture. Families later filed lawsuits accusing the school of being unsafe, underfunded, and more about worshiping Kanye than educating children. And guess who Kanye wanted front and center at Donda Academy? North West herself. He bragged about how his daughter, along with other kids, would thrive in his system instead of being indoctrinated by public schools. But when those lawsuits hit, the fallout didn't stop at the academy. It landed right on the kids too. Suddenly, North's entire education, her daily life, even her public image was tied to Kanye's experimental project. Fast forward to 2025, North is 12, experimenting with style, hitting stages, and popping up in TikToks with Kim. But instead of people letting her be a kid, every little thing she does gets dragged back to Kanye's so-called cult energy. A piercing? That's trauma from Sunday service. A bold outfit? Proof she's still stuck in Ye's control. And when those alleged medical leaks hit the blogs, it just fed the same narrative that North is still paying the price for her dad's delusions. The timing makes it sting even more. Kanye never drew a line between his art and his family. He paraded his kids on stage at Sunday service, put them in those Donda Academy uniforms, and branded them as part of his empire. So now, the internet feels entitled to connect every single headline about North back to Ye. And it's unfair, but it's also the precedent Kanye set. When whispers of medical records surface, most people don't even stop to check if it's real. They just say, well, Kanye had those kids eating sushi every day and chanting scriptures in Balenciaga uniforms, so anything's possible. His history already primed the public to believe the worst. At the end of the day, every rumor, every leak, every headline loops back to one harsh truth. North isn't just caught in her parents' custody war, she's carrying the weight of two parents who turned their own lives into a non-stop spectacle, and now the world treats her as part of the show. Kim has been monetizing her private life since day one, from reality TV rollouts to courtroom live streams. Privacy? That word doesn't exist in her dictionary. If it feeds the brand, it's content, period. And now North is slowly becoming another gear in that machine. We've already seen it. TikTok lives syncing with Skims campaigns, paparazzi shots that feel staged, and public moments that just so happen to boost Kim's empire. On the surface, Kim letting North express herself might look like empowerment. But let's keep it real. There's a razor-thin line between expression and exploitation. The internet doesn't handle kids gently, and once North becomes content, she's locked into a cycle of scrutiny no child should have to endure. Meanwhile, Kanye has been screaming for years about protecting his kids from Kim's Hollywood circus. No TikTok, no exploitation, no public show. He paints himself as the parent fighting for innocence. But what's he doing now? The exact opposite. One moment, Bianca is paraded around in see-through outfits like an accessory. The next, he's claiming to be the moral compass of the family. That hypocrisy doesn't fly under the radar. North sees it too. A dad preaching one thing while doing the complete opposite. That type of contradiction breeds confusion, mistrust, and shapes how a child views love and loyalty. And when you add Kim's brand-first mentality to the mix, North ends up torn between two extremes: overexposure on one side, instability on the other. Kids need consistency to feel safe, but North is growing up where private doesn't exist, and protection is just another PR stunt. One parent pulls her toward the spotlight, the other drags her into chaos, and either way, her childhood gets consumed. And the scariest part? This goes deeper than embarrassment online. It cuts into her identity. Imagine trying to figure out who you are while the world debates whether you were raised in a cult, whether your mom is pimping you out, or whether your dad's new wife is being paraded like a mannequin for clicks. North isn't just learning self-expression, she's learning distrust, hyper-awareness, and performance. Her whole psyche is being shaped into, I am who the internet says I am. And child, that's a dangerous seed to plant in anyone, let alone a kid. We've seen this cycle before, from Michael Jackson's children to Britney Spears' little sister, all wrestling with the suffocating shadow of fame. Some cracked under the weight, others learned to weaponize it. And North? She might end up doing the same. You can already see flashes of it. The way she claps back at paparazzi, the confidence she shows on TikTok, the sass that feels like armor. But beneath that bravado is still a child caught in a battle she didn't start. Looking long term, this could go one of two ways. Either North flips the narrative and becomes the first Kardashian West to carve authenticity out of all this noise, or she becomes another cautionary tale of what fame's cruelty does to a child. Because let's be crystal clear, medical leaks, cult rumors, and constant spectacle aren't just messy gossip. They're actively shaping how she learns to see herself, and that's the real tragedy hiding behind the headlines. Kim and Kanye both wanted the world, but the price of their hunger for attention might just be their daughter's peace of mind. So let me know what you think about this mess in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.